Hi parents, welcome to my back to school night video and welcome to my house, my kitchen. I just wanted to share with you a few of the pieces of information that you might find helpful to know about my class, how I run my class, and and how to help your students. So I'm going to try to go through this screen, this PowerPoint. Okay. All right. This happens a lot. Okay, so I just have a few links here for you. This PowerPoint is actually connected also to my website. So you can go to my website and see this PowerPoint again, or these Google Slides again. But a couple of things I want to bring to your attention. So the first thing is, unfortunately, we're doing digital learning. So students have had to relearn sort of how to learn. So we do have sort of some classroom or Google Meet expectations and, just common expectations like be on time. The kids have been great about being on time, be in a quiet place, be prepared, be professional. I want them to not show up in their bathing suit or whatever. They are really good about muting themselves when I'm talking or when someone else is talking, or if there's background noise. They've been really great about that. Participation, we'll talk about that a little bit more in another link. This is a huge one for me, is the chat responsibly. I really want the chat box to be used for questions that are on task for class or answering questions. And the kids have honestly, for the most part, been great about, like, if I post a link and someone gets kicked out and they can't see the link anymore, they'll repost it. Really helpful to other students. So I really appreciate that. Communication, they've been really good if they have a question to ask me verbally. It's really helpful. They've been great about that. And they've really been respectful. So those are sort of my expectations for working with Google Classroom. Okay. So if your child is in Math B Honors, I teach Math B Honors second, fourth, and sixth period. So Math B Honors, you can click on this link to find all of the class policies for Math B Honors, everything that we're going to be studying, what materials would be helpful for them. They actually get their modules delivered, or you can come pick them up like on paper version. In the past, I've used Desmos, and it just doesn't seem to lend itself well to distance learning. So we're just using paper modules, and then every day after Math B Honors is over, even though we're taking lesson notes and they should be writing what I'm writing, I post my key on Google Classroom every day so that if they miss something, or if they were absent, or if they had to run to the restroom, or whatever they missed, they can always look and see what I taught that day by referring to Google Classroom. So hopefully you've seen these policies already. They're on my website as well. If your child is in Integrated Math 1 Honors, this information is also on my website under class policies. So it's a high school class, so I use the same policies that the high schools use when they teach Math 1 Honors. Here's our whole syllabus, how I grade, what counts for what grades, and so forth. So you can view that on my website. Okay, our class schedule. I'm sure that you're familiar with this. This is our class schedule for Carmel Valley Middle School. And kids have been great about being on time. I know it's really confusing, especially for 8th graders who didn't have the schedule last year. They had Monday, single period. So it's taking all of us a little bit of time to get used to this bell schedule. This is available on the Carmel Valley Middle School website. If you would like to see all of our math curriculum, we've made it available on our district website and our school website. So this is the student support site. So for example, B Honors is in a middle school class, Math 1 Honors is a high school class. But let's say your student would like some more information on a topic that I've taught in B Honors. So they would go to middle school and then click on Math B Honors. I've gone through this several times in class. These student editions on the left are the packets or the student modules that you actually have picked up during distribution days. So right now we're just still working in module 1. If your student loses it or if you didn't have a chance to pick it up, you can print it out right here. Also, you've also been picking up on distribution days the homework packets. So I think it just says blank here to show that this is homework without a key. And then over here is actually a whole list of videos and extra practice for your students. So if I click on module 1, you can see that if your student, maybe your student learned it from me, or maybe they were absent, but section 1.1 is what our quiz was on this week, and you can see there's extra practice worksheets on every topic I taught, extra videos on every topic that I taught, and lessons from another teacher from everything I've taught, and then we'll start 1.2. But there's so many resources in this math support website, so I really hope you and your students are familiar with it and know about it. For high school, we have the same thing for Math 1 Honors. We have the same situation, except Math 1 Honors students do the student edition and the homework digitally. So no need to print those out, but there still are extra videos and extra practice. Okay, digital classroom management. So because we're digital learning, we've been required by the state to record not only attendance, but engagement in distance learning. So this is sort of how every teacher, every class, every student has to record this every day. So we record attendance, they're there or they're not, but also engagement. So if your student receives a 1, that means your student is present, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They fill it out every day at the beginning of the class. I post an attendance Google form, just a little question. I'll show you a sample. They've replied to that. That's how I take attendance. If they don't have to have their camera, their face on, but if they just have their icon on, then I have to just make sure that they're there. So if I call on them, they should be able to answer in a class discussion. They're actively working on what we're doing in class. They're paying attention. 2, and that's usually the case. If your student gets a 2, it means that they're there, they're present, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Either they're distracted by other things, so when I call on them, they don't really know what we're doing, or they don't fill out the attendance Google form, or they have, the biggest reason I've given a 2 is for inappropriate comments in the chat box. So if your student gets a 2 through Aries, you will get an automatic email that just says that they got a 2, and you'll get it, and your email will say your student was not engaged. So it might not be that they are not engaged. It might be that they had something else, some other reason for getting a 2. And feel free to always email me if you want to know why they were getting a 2, because anytime I give a student a 2, I leave notes in Aries for that, for the reason that I did it. So please feel free to email me if you have questions about your student getting a 2. And obviously A, we mark for absence. So the Google form that I post at the beginning of every class session in the chat box it looks like this. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Let's see. Oh, it looks like this. So the student just says, it's super simple. They just say okay. They just say what class they're in, their last name, their first name, and then I'll just ask them a simple question. What did you do over the long weekend? Just questions to get to know my students better. What days is Math BH support available after school? That sort of thing. So those are the things that I ask them. Just a simple little form that they need to fill out. Okay. What else? Oh, extra math support. If your student is in Math B Honors or Math 1 Honors, we actually have scheduled a whole calendar for time outside of class that they can get help. So on Tuesdays, Ms. Hershey, who also teaches B Honors, she's available to help B Honors students. On Wednesday, your student can make an appointment with me after school to help them with whatever questions they have. It's usually one-on-one. Well, if they make an appointment with me, it's one-on-one. Like if they don't feel comfortable asking questions in the forum. And then on Fridays, I'm always online under this Google Meet, Math B Support. I just open that meet and I'm there from 1:40 to 2:40 to answer any questions, help you with homework for Math 1 and for Math B Honors. So there's barely ever any kids in there, so it's a great opportunity for your student to ask questions. Okay, and then just a little bit about me. I'm married and I have 3 children, adult children. They're 26, 31, and 33, and I have the love of my life, my 18-month-old grandchild. And my hobbies are traveling. I love traveling and scuba diving, and I run this Carmel Valley Travel Club. So if you want more information about the Travel Club, feel free to contact me. And let's see. Okay, so this is just information about my education. I have a master's in cross-cultural education, a single subject math credential, a multiple subject credential, and a PE credential. So this is my 20th year of teaching. I taught at Vista High School for 2 years, and I've been in this district for 18 years. The bell schedule, let's see. We talked about attendance, expectations. Oh, if your child borrowed a Chromebook from school, this is just a checklist of things that they need to do to make sure that they take care of it. So, keeping it in a clean place, away from food and drinks, carrying it carefully so it doesn't drop, make sure it's charged. The kids have been great about coming to class with it charged. And during synchronous time, when I'm online with them, they need to only be on the websites that I'm directing them to. But during asynchronous time, which sometimes we have days where I just sort of get them started and then they do work independently for the rest of the period. Then they can visit any website they need to finish their work. Our district just purchased several new Chromebooks that will be available by December, and they're touchscreen Chromebooks. So if your child doesn't have a touchscreen Chromebook or a touchscreen iPad or something like that, it would make their life a lot easier if you pick one up in December when they're available. Because on the online test, it's helpful to have a touchscreen. If you come to campus, or even for distribution, if your child needs to come to campus to pick up a module from Mr. Richards from the Media Center, we just ask that you wear your mask. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on my email. And if you'd like me to address individual concerns about your child, you can fill out this form that's on the last page. It's just a Google form asking what seems to be working for your child in distance learning, what are they struggling with, specific to my class. And again, just a reminder that there's extra math help on Tuesdays and Fridays from 1:40 to 2:40, or you can make an appointment with me after school. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Feel free to contact me always. And I hope that we can get back to school safely soon and I can actually meet your kids. Okay, have a great night.